What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very interesting video for you guys. I'm uploading this one for two particular reasons. One is to basically have a little montage and show off how our recent 6-boss Prime War Rush event went down. I managed to get 20 to 30 of our warband members together on Sunday, and we took down the first 6 bosses. That way everyone was able to unlock the pro mode, and it was pretty fun. We did it back to back. We only had one defeat, which was potentially because of a bug, but that is the main reason why I wanted to show this, was to kind of go in depth and show off the mechanics of each of those first 6 boss fights. The other reason, however, that I want to upload this video, and I've been asked by one of the devs to send them this link once I upload it, and that is because a lot of things went wrong while we were doing these. Tons of bugs, tons of lag issues, bosses spawning in the middle of the sky, things like that, that led to some pretty funny clips, actually. But yeah, once this gets uploaded, I'm going to be sending this video to them to kind of go over and double check the things that went wrong, and hopefully that'll help them kind of figure out things that they might be able to optimize to make these Prime War events a little bit better. But that being said, it is going to be another longer video. It's probably going to be 40 plus minutes because it's 6 bosses, pretty much all the things included in those, with the exception of the detailed building of all the defenses, one right after another. So it did take a little while, but hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully this video can help out the devs and make this really cool PvE event a bit better for players moving forward. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, so when you're about to start some Prime Wars, in my opinion, there's pretty much like 3 phases that you're going to want to take into consideration. The first phase, in my opinion, is the meetup phase, I guess we could call it, where you want to gather all the members of your group, kind of like we did here. I had all the members of the warband meet at my base, and I kind of made some announcements. We got everyone in Discord together so we could communicate, and went over every person's role that they're going to be playing during the war, as well as pick which boss we wanted to take down first, things like that. And the reason why this is important is because the point distribution within the Prime War that gives you access to the first, second, or third tier of rewards is based around different objectives that you have to complete during the war itself. The main ways that you get those points are by attacking the boss's silver shield and then doing damage to the main boss itself. You can also get points for taking down normal enemies and elite enemies, and then you have the building set of points. So you have points for building defenses and structures. You also get points for your structures that you build taking damage during the war. And then last but not least, you can actually get points for reviving allied teammates when they get downed. So there is multiple ways to get points. However, you want to try and evenly distribute the roles across your group as best as possible, because if you're like me and you're going to be sitting on a Gatling gun for almost all of these battles, you get plenty enough points just from shooting your cannon to reach that max tier reward. So it wouldn't make sense to go and build a bunch of structures on top of that, because you're just wasting potential points for the rest of your clan members. So I basically designated a bunch of people who just wanted to be builders, and their job was to strictly just build all the defensive structures. That way they would get all the points for that and allow them to get a bunch of extra points because they won't be on a cannon. But here we are. We just arrived to the first location, the Ravenous Hunter basically variant. It's probably the easiest of the first 3 tier 1 bosses. And the next tip that I want to give you guys before moving on to the second and third phase is, as soon as you get to a new location, look for that silver pool of mercury that you see. That's actually going to be the spawn point of where the boss spawns and where you want to basically start your defenses. But then moving on to the second phase of the Prime Wars is what I consider to be the basically preparation and the defensive stage. This is where you want to build all your defensive structures to kind of prevent the elites and the boss himself from getting to your terminal, which is what you basically have to defend and stop them from destroying. So as you can see, we build a ton of barricades all around that mercury pool before we start, and we also have a ton of barricades set up all down the walkway to kind of slow his progress if it comes to that. One thing that I do want to point out to the devs at this point is I really hope that we get a timer added to the defensive structures so that they disappear after an allotted allotted amount of time when a Prime War ends, because as you saw, as soon as we rolled up to this first Prime War, there was a ton of structures already in place from a previous team, so that meant that all of our builders missed out on a ton of easy points because the structure cap was almost reached already. So I feel like removing that basically structure count at the start of a new phase would allow more points to be distributed to a lot more players that are strictly doing the building for your team. But for this particular boss, I guess the main strategy would to be use a couple Gatling cannons or tactical items to take down the boss's shield, and then every single Prime War boss that you come across, once you get them down to their last little chunk of health, are going to have basically a super attack that they do. This particular one, the Ravenous Hunter variant, shoots missiles into the sky and basically drops a nuclear warhead on you. So the second you see him do that, you want everyone in your team to aim to the sky and shoot down that nuke as quickly as possible. Once that's done, you're pretty much in the clear and you can just finish burning him down. He won't have any immunity left at that point, and he should have just a sliver of health remaining, so you can just quickly burn him down and complete the first Prime War objective there. But yeah, big thing to take away from this one, for the devs at least, is we'd love to see a timer on structures for defenses. That way builders who are strictly building and doing that role can get a lot of points. They're missing out a ton of points right now because of all the leftover structures from previous attempts from other players. So that's the one tidbit I'd like to point out there. Next, I think we decide to go to, we'll see here in a second. I think I tell the group to head to Greywater so we can drive there and take the nearby teleporter. We choose to do the Stinger's Cove next. This is going to be a Hound variant, so here we are showing up at the second Prime War, and as you can see, right across from me is where the Mercury Pool is. That's where the boss is going to spawn. So I start telling people that if you're not on a cannon, you can move up a little closer and stand on that opposite ridge, so you're right up close. That's a really good spot to shoot the boss from up close, and also launch some Molotov cocktails and things like that. Here we are with 10 seconds until the Prime War begins. We activated it, and as you can see, we've got our defenses set up as well. We got a bunch of them behind, or right around rather, the boss itself, and then also have some blocking off the little valley, because elites like to walk down into that little ridge. And we just unload onto him with our Gatling cannons, and up to this point, things have run pretty smoothly. The Gatling cannons are registering, and the shields are dropping pretty quick. Now, much like I said, for the special ability at the last bit of health, the Hound has similar moves as well. Shoot the orb when he jumps into the air, and if you do enough damage, you can stagger him. That'll give you a nice little window. If you can't do enough damage in time, he will slam on the ground and do a bunch of AoE damage to everyone that's nearby, so watch out for that. But once you burn him down to his final bar of health, similar to the Ravenous Hunter, he'll go into his special ability. And for the Hound, what he does is he jumps into the sky, and at this point, you want to tell all of your teammates to immediately turn around and start running back towards the terminal location, which is actually behind where we were standing, because he's going to come down like a meteor out of the sky and land right next to where the terminal is, and you basically have to kill him as quickly as possible. If he gets any more than like 2 or 3 hits onto your terminal, you'll basically instantly wipe, because he destroys any barricades really quick. So he spawns, we just instantly turn on him, burn him down, and just like that, we have the second Prime War done. So not too bad. He actually spawned properly this time. As you see, once we get to the hard mode, some pretty crazy stuff ends up happening. But yeah, we take down the last few elites here. We checked the terminal after the fact. He did get 1 or 2 shots off. It was down to only like 1/3 health left, and we were burning him down pretty quick. So that just shows how quickly you need to get back to the terminal and take him out as quickly as possible. But yeah, here we are heading to the next one. We decided to do the Quicksand Ruins. This is the final Tier 1 Prime War boss, and this one is a little unique. It has a special mechanic, unlike any of the other ones that we've seen, that can instantly wipe your entire group if you don't do it properly. So here we are rolling up, and again, we got a ton of already placed defenses from a previous team. I would like to see these disappeared so we can set up our own and strategically place them how we want. That little concrete building was where our terminal was located. We actually had a bunch of Gatling turrets set up as well already. So I went and found the nearest one and hopped onto that and got ready for the battle to start. Now this particular boss is a flyer, similar to the elites that you might run into during a territory purification, but obviously much, much bigger. So same kind of strategy. You want to burn the boss's health or shield down with your Gatling guns. We did a ton of damage there, just straight up melted the boss, and then switch to your main guns and shoot the boss on the ground. This particular one doesn't have a ton of health. It can burn down pretty quick, but the mechanic at the end, the special mechanic, is what you really have to watch out for, because that can instantly wipe everyone. So here we are burning her down, and now she goes immune. And here's the mechanic you want to watch out for.
No, they all do.
I'll let Jin describe.
Stop firing. Everybody stop firing.
So as you can see, there's going to be 3 copies of the boss. 2 of them will be identical, 1 of them will be different. You want to shoot the one that is different. In this particular case, they actually doubled up, so you have to shoot the one that has the different colored wings. In this case, it was the black wings. Sometimes it's random, and it might be 2 black wings and 1 silver. And if that's the case, then the silver ones are the ones that you're going to want to shoot. But it is pretty fast, and if basically why it's such a risky mechanic is because if you don't communicate and random players accidentally shoot the wrong copy too many times, the wrong one will explode and it just wipes your entire group instantly. So as soon as it goes into that special ability, you want to make sure that everyone just holds fire for a few seconds, figure out which one is the right one, and then take them down. Next, we decided to do the giant stairs, which is, in my opinion, the hardest of the 3 hard Prime War bosses. It's actually an exact copy of the boss that we just faced. Only this time around, we actually fail the first time because of, I think it's a little bit of a bug, but it could just be poor Gatling cannon placement as well. It's a little bit of both, as you'll see here in a minute. So we set up our basically defenses. You're going to want to place a bunch of turrets and stairwells going all up the cliff. The Mercury spawns on the ground level, but the terminal is actually on top of the hill to our right. So you want to build defenses both on the bottom level and on the high ground. So we do the same tactic here. We shoot the boss. Things are getting a little bit laggy here. First round of shields go down.
And burner.
And we start shooting. Keep doing damage, keep doing damage. Alright, she's about to do her basically special ability here. She'll do a little shockwave similar to the last normal mode variant.
She's gonna split, stop.
And then she's gonna split into multiple copies. She likes to teleport around at first too. So hold off on firing for a minute. In this particular case, it looks like 2 silver wings again and 1 black pair of wings. And now this is where we kind of messed up. We got a really awkward spawn for the secondary basically enemy group up, and it was way too high for our Gatling cannons, and we didn't have any on the high ground. So as you can see, I'm like trying to shoot a bullet, and the gun just can't aim high enough. So I don't think that we took that shield down fast enough, and that's why we ended up getting defeated. We do run it back and put some turrets on the mid and high ground on the second round, and we're able to take them out, which I'll show here in a minute. Even this one couldn't reach. I've actually never seen one of the copies spawn this high, so it kind of threw us off, and that's why we ended up getting the defeat, unfortunately. So that round wasn't too bad when it comes to the bugs, but the second attempt, here we are, we reset everything up, waited for the cooldown, and we're attempting it again. Here's where things start to get a little buggy, and the things that I want the devs to take an eye, keep an eye on. So we start shooting. Start doing damage. And then all of a sudden, the lag spikes come in. Take down the shield, everything's good. I run down to start doing some normal damage. So far, so good. Try to reload. And we get a reload bug. I basically was able to shoot 4 bullets out of that mag before it forced me to reload again. Same thing again, another reload bug. Now I start running. Lag so bad that we just start teleporting all over the place. I'm trying to full sprint right now and the game's holding me back. Get teleported backwards. Running for it again.
Yeah, it's really bad right now.
It really is, yeah. I keep reloading.
Teleported backwards. Running for it again. Mind you, the boss has a shield with a strict timer, and everyone's trying to take it down, but we can't even get to our Gatling guns because the lag is so bad that we're literally teleporting all over the place. We can't even get to the gun. So finally I'm like, alright, screw it. Let me try and get on this nearby Gatling gun and do a little bit of damage. So here I am mashing the F key. Won't finally sit down. After about 10 tries, it finally sits down. Now I start shooting. And because the lag is so bad, it takes about 5 seconds for my damage to proc for these biomissiles. Some of them don't even proc. So that's 2 shots. 3 shots. So we've got 3 shots on it already, and only 1 has gone off. At this point, we're lagging so bad that I'm like holding on my shots. I'm like firing 1 at a time and just waiting. Because I'm seeing the explosion go off, but I'm getting no damage numbers. They're like super delayed. So there the shield goes down. We're all pretty far away, so we start shooting. We don't do anywhere near enough damage. So I'm like, okay, we got to try and get to the high ground here. If we're going to want to do any damage. So we start heading over. Boss gets back up. And is about to do its little special maneuver now. There's the pulse. I didn't even see which one was the color. It ends up being black again.
They broke.
Trying to put down a turret. It's not letting me.
They're overlapped too.
Thankfully, though, the rest of the team was able to shoot the proper color. And we miraculously were able to still take the boss down despite the crazy lag spikes that we were getting. So that was the first little issue we started noticing. And we're like, oh boy. Hope this doesn't start happening on all of them. Spoiler alert, it does. So we managed to take it down. That was the first hard mode boss. Ran into our first big lag spike. The next one we decide to do is going to be the Ignis Frontier. This is basically the hard mode variant of the Hound boss that we fought earlier. Just a little bit harder. That's where the Mercury pool spawns. Set up our Gatling turrets in the middle. So it was halfway between where the terminal spawns, which is going to be back here. Made sure to put some defenses around that to protect it for when the meteor falls down. I also think I came over here to double check on the terminal itself. You want to make sure that it's fully repaired because it can get damaged. This is also where you would go to start the Prime War. Forgot to mention that. You have to interact with the terminal first. Cost 125 to 150 staroids usually. A little more for the higher tier ones.
Right.
But once you activate it, there's going to be a 3-minute cooldown. Here we are with 5 seconds remaining. 2, 1, and engage. Boss is going to spawn right on that silver mercury pool that we pointed out. We obviously put up more defenses around him. Our builders did. So this one wasn't too bad. At least the hits were registering. But then, watch what happens. We start shooting the boss. We're burning his health down. And then we start getting reload bugs again. There we go. Out of ammo. I go to reload. It's not letting me. Go to reload again. There we go. Drop down to 0. Reload. No ammo. Drop down to 0. Reload. No ammo. Reload again. So, ton of laggy reload bugs at first. But that's not even the craziest thing that happens. Another reload bug. I'm sitting here firing blanks because there's nothing in my clip.
Board.
Somehow managed to get the stagger.
Keeps reloading after like 20 bullets.
Another reload bug. Finally realize it. I'm like, okay, reload again.
It's here too.
So here we are getting the boss down to its special final attack, its final stand. He goes a moon, jumps into the air, and then things start lagging. I look up, I see the meteor. I'm like, all right, everyone head back to the terminal because we're going to want to burn him down. And now watch what happens. Meteor comes down. No explosion. I'm trying to get to the terminal. Things are bugging out. We're like, okay, where's the boss? And long story short, he doesn't spawn.
Oh no. Okay.
Also, when one of my
So
teammates
this has
calls
happened
out,
before.
I get teleported backwards. So
We're
we
gonna
get
have to
another
do a
teleport
Stairway to
bug.
Heaven.
And then we look up and realize that the
He's
boss
way up in
spawned
the
in the
sky. Do you see
sky,
him?
along with a
In the
bunch of
air.
other elite enemies. So we're like, oh geez, here we go.
He's in
Mind you, we've
space.
got 24 minutes left, and we don't want to give up. So we call it out, and we're like, let's build a stairway to heaven. So we gathered up all of our builders,
Oh god, really?
got them all together, figured out how much resources we had. I think I even went back to base. I cut it out. But I went back to base, got some materials. Everyone gathered up their materials, and we
Yeah,
started
he's
building
out
the
there.
stairs here.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
walking
you
around
can't do
figuring out where we
unlimited
wanna
stairs,
put it.
so-
I think right here you actually see the boss spawn. I look up.
Yeah, this happened to me yesterday.
And there he is. And now, here is where we begin to build the stairway. Thank God our builders brought tons of materials because we needed a lot of them. But we ended up taking down the boss, but we had to build this stairwell so high that by the time you got to the top, it said that you weren't even in the Prime War zone anymore. You leave the activity zone. Thankfully, once you take down the boss, if you drop down quickly enough, you still get credit for taking him down, and you still get your rewards. It also leads to a pretty cool falling clip here.
Crazy, isn't it?
But this is just a never-ending staircase that we should not have to build during these Prime Wars. The boss is literally in outer space right now.
Who's the hero building the
You
stairs?
guys are going to get a pretty cool view at least here.
Right? Oh, you can't go too high, otherwise you leave.
Running and running and running.
Yeah, it's okay. It still counts. I did the same thing yesterday.
Okay.
Just drop back down. As soon as we kill him, just drop back down. You'll get credit.
I think I'll just let this play out because I probably run up these stairs for 5 minutes straight. It does never end. The sad part is I spend 5 minutes running all the way to the top,
Close.
and the few teammates that got there before me ended up burning the boss down before I could even make it to the top. So I run all the way up there for nothing.
Yeah, we'll need it.
Random elite floating in the air. There you go. You can can kind of see the boss, how high up he is.
Oh, actually, who has? Hey, Doomslayer, do you have more wood? Drop some.
Keeps on going.
Oh, someone's building more.
Yeah.
Pretty nice view, though. Almost there.
Yep. There it is.
Now you can start to see, as I'm getting closer to the top, some of my teammates have already made it. And they're starting to take him down finally already. More and more people catch up. I try shooting, but I'm still out of range.
There we go. Some damage numbers.
Still out of range. Running up. Almost make it to the top. And then they take the boss down.
Oh, you can run
So
away.
good job, team. I wasn't much of a help. Built a few stairs, but that's about it. But then we do this epic fall off the top.
Zaid.
I actually panicked here because the victory screen popped up right before I was about to hit the ground, so I had to quickly back out of all my menus to bring my glider out. Just barely got it in time. But yeah, as you can see, if that bug happens, you can still potentially kill the boss and get the rewards. You just have to quickly jump down back to the ground level as soon as the boss dies.
Pretty epic.
But that being said, we should not have to do this. So devs, hopefully you look into that. Now here we are, moving on to the third and final boss fight on hard mode. This is going to be the Ravenous Hunter variant again, same as the first boss, so we've kind of come full circle. This is just me repairing the terminal, and then using some of my own steroids to start the Prime War myself. Go and interact with it. Now it has started. As you can see, we get that 3-minute countdown timer. And then I quickly rush back to my teammates and hop on my turret and get ready for the battle to start. And then here is where some more really annoying bugs start happening. So we all get into position. We got about 4 seconds here until it begins. And the big issue we had with this one is just Gatling cannon hit registration. We probably wasted over 100 biomissiles on this boss, and only a third of them actually counted. So you can see that we're getting the explosion animation, but I'm only getting a damage register for every third missile that I shoot. And we start noticing this. So the first shield isn't too bad. We get it down. We realize all of us are too far away. We do as much damage as we can, but he stands back up and basically his shield regenerates. So we have to do it all over again. Another reload bug. Shield comes back up, so we all hop on our cannons again. I'm mashing F, by the way, and it's just refusing to let me get on this cannon because of the lag. Finally, it lets me on. At this point, after I realized it took me 10 seconds to get on the turret, I knew something was going to go wrong. So here we are shooting. There's 2 shots. There's 3 shots. There's 4 shots. 5 shots. All of these are hitting. 6 shots. 7 shots.
Oh,
8 shots. 9 shots.
I'm gonna go volley this guy.
We're at over 10 shots now. Not a single... Okay, there we go. We get our first hit register after firing 10 missiles. And these missiles aren't cheap. They require premium fuel, things like that. I'm already down to 5 left. Burnt through half my stockpile of missiles and only got 1 registered hit out of it. The Bosch's shield should almost be gone at this point because we've got 3 of us on these turrets. And just no one's missiles are registering. Here's another chain of them. Direct hit, direct hit, direct hit. And not just mine, my teammates too. All these ones that I'm missing, they're missing as well. The boss's shield just isn't going down. There's finally 1 hit register that I get. So I don't know if it's a server side issue or what, but the lag spikes that you get during these Prime Wars are terrible right now. It messes up the procs of all of your biomissiles. Like, we wasted a ton of materials making all this ammunition just for none of it to count, which was kind of depressing. Finally get another register. But this is the second time we're taking his shield down, and as you can see, we've barely done any damage to the main boss's health. So we're all kind of getting worried at this point. No hit register. Firing another one. Delayed shot. No hit register. Just one right after another. None of them are registering. And again, it's not just me shooting. I've got 2 or 3 other buddies on Gatling cannons all doing the same thing I'm doing. And nothing is registering. The boss's shield is just sitting there at the exact same amount, no matter how many times we hit him. And I run out of ammunition. So I'm like, alright, time to get into close quarters. Let's start throwing mollies. Here I am spamming the molly throw. No animation. Then it delayed throws it in the wrong direction. Running up to the stairs. Try throwing a molly. I'm spamming throw. It's not working. Because of the lag. I finally let go. And then it randomly throws it 10 seconds later. Another player's molly is literally just hovering in midair.
There we go.
Whip out my deviant. It doesn't spawn. Finally we break the shield. Now mind you, now my deviant spawns 10 seconds later. Mind you, this is the second time that we've taken the boss's shields down. And still haven't gotten them past the second bar of health before the next round of shields pops up. So I'm like, alright, we need to set a Gatling turret back up again. Nope. Teleport.
You got a lead running up there. Get it?
Yeah, I do.
Let's try this again. Nope. Teleport. Running in place. Now I try jumping these walls. It doesn't let me. You should be able to mantle over all these. Can't mount over it. Finally I'm able to climb. At this point I tell my buddy Jin, give me some backup ammunition because I've burned through all my biomissiles. He had a bunch of extras, thankfully.
Yeah.
So he gets those
Do
ready.
that and I'll drop the ammo.
I think I had maybe 5 or 10 remaining.
Oh, this is so ridiculous.
Went back, destroyed my old turret, and got the resources back. That way I could rebuild it closer to the boss.
Getting a couple.
So I'll go ahead, throw down my turret again. And there we go. I place it, but it doesn't register. 10 seconds later. Now it decides to jump in. Here's my buddy dropping me some ammo. Some more biomissiles.
I dropped it. It's over here. Glitchiz.
Alright. Try to get back on the cannon. Mashing F. Let me on, let me on. It's not working. Finally, we get on.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then we start shooting again. Now, mind you, we are like 15 feet from this boss. So I'm shooting one. There's a hit. Watch how long the delay is before the hits register. We're point blank range, so you can't say that we're missing them now. And just the lag is so bad that none of our shots are registering. Nothing. No damage. Direct hit after direct hit.
Yeah, it's not registering.
No damage. No damage. Boss's shield is still sitting there. Slowly we start working it down. At this point I like realize my shots are not registering and are lagging really bad. So I start like delaying between each shot. I'm firing one at a time, and I'm firing and then waiting for numbers. Firing, waiting for numbers, because it's like a 10-second delay before you even see the damage. And then thankfully, as you'll see here in a minute, at the very tail end, we both run out of biomissiles, but he's still got like 2 bars of shield left. And we're like, oh geez, I don't think we're going to be able to get it down. And I don't know if just our previous shots just randomly started syncing up again, or if new players came in and started throwing some really high quality mollies or something. Because out of nowhere, the boss's health just started dropping really fast, even though no one was really shooting. Also, this happened. We're not really getting hit by anything, but my turret gets destroyed, and then out of nowhere, the entire platform and the turret randomly gets destroyed. Like nothing's hitting us. The goo on the ground should just be like area of effect goo. It wasn't even touching half of that basically foundation, so I have no idea why that got destroyed. Another lag issue, I'm sure. But here we are, trying to throw some mollies. Not working. Delayed animation. Trying to throw another one. Delayed animation. So we're in desperation mode at this point. Shield's almost down. I told everyone, I said we gotta do a ton of damage this time, so everyone get close and be ready to start burning the boss down. We've got 11 biomissiles left. There goes the shield. I tell everyone to shoot. Try to take out the deviant. That doesn't work. And the shield comes back. So at this point, we're getting pretty disheartened. We did a nice chunk of damage, but we got a full shield to burn through. We're getting really low on biomissiles. Nothing's registering. As you can see, we're still teleporting all over the place.
Yeah. I didn't do enough.
I see one Gatling turret still up and running.
I was doing elite. I got past this. If I can. Yeah.
My buddy Jin is on our back platform, so I head over there. Double check my ammo. And now at this point, I'm like, these shots have to count. So we'll just take our time. There's one shot. That may have been a miss. But there's another shot. No register. Another shot. Finally get a hit. Another shot. Super long delay, but we get a hit. So I take my time on these last few that I have. No register. No register. Finally we get one. Probably got like maybe 5 shots left. No register again. Insufficient ammunition. So now I'm out of bio missiles. We've got more than half of the boss's shield left. And I'm like, oh boy, what do we do? So I think I get off the cannon here. And I just start running up to the boss. But then, some reason, miraculously, the boss's shield just randomly starts dropping. So I don't know if like all of our Gatling cannon ammunition hits were just delayed, because no one else is shooting bio missiles really right now, except for maybe one person. But all of a sudden, miraculously, the boss's shield just starts dropping. I'm like, oh my god, we actually still might have a chance here. So everyone moves on up, burns down the last little bit of shield. And I'm like, alright, this is basically the last shot we have. We have to take him down now. So boom, there goes the shield. And we just lay into him. So we were all prepared for this final one. Everyone was right up close. He goes into immune. I'm like, great. At this point, we don't have to worry about the shield anymore. Just look to the sky for that nuke. So everyone reloads, gets ready. Boss loads up his final stand attack. Shoots into the air. Tell everyone, look to the sky. Here comes the nuke. And we burn it down. Boom. Now with the nuke gone, we can just finish the boss off. Don't have to worry about any shields. And just like that, the 6th Prime War boss is down. Thank God. Didn't think that one was going to happen with all the lag and everything else, but we managed to do it. And at the top of the damage boards again. Like I said, if you want to divvy up the points, people on the cannons, have them just focus on cannons. People that want to build, have them just focus on building. That way they can get all the points for that and kind of share the XP. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so as you guys can see, the Prime Wars are a pretty epic activity for PvE server players. However, from what you saw from the footage and devs, hopefully you guys check this video out too. There is a lot of room for improvement. It has a ton of potential, but as it stands right now, in my opinion, there's just way too many bugs. I don't know if it's a server side issue, a programming issue, things like that, with the spawns of the bosses and things like that. But yeah, there's plenty of things that can potentially be fixed, and hopefully this video helps you guys iron some of those problems out. That's for the devs. As for the viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it dropped a little bit of information to you guys and kind of demonstrated some of the mechanics for at least the first 6 Prime War bosses. If it was helpful, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. I appreciate all of you guys' feedback. Also, if you want to keep up to date with all my future content, consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell. And then lastly, if you want to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, feel free to check the links down in the description and join us on the Discord. We've got 1,000 so players in there now, many of which are playing Once Human and always looking for new people to group up with. And hopefully within the next phase, the warband cap is going to increase. We'll be able to get a ton more people in. So hopefully you guys join up here, and we see you guys around here soon. But until the next one, Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you all later.